welcome to Monster Jam Live. I hope you guys are ready to have an amazing journey through all of the cool stuff that we have happening here in Anaheim. My name is Ken Nowitzki, and I'm going to be your host, and we're going to have a great time. Now, if you guys are just joining us live on Facebook, welcome to Anaheim, California, and Angel Stadium. If you fans are out there and you're curious as to how you can follow along, all you have to do is go to facebook.com/Monster Jam and find the live feed, and you can see exactly what's going on and follow along here. We also want to take a second and recognize all of our international fans. Whether you're in Australia, the Middle East, wherever you guys are at, welcome to Monster Jam Live. We hope you guys are ready, because we're going to take you guys on a cool tour of all the amazing things that are happening here on Stadium Tour 3 as these athletes chase after the Points Championship Series trophy. Now, it's been a long journey, and they're all working their way down to the road to the Monster Jam World Finals number 18, and we're going to take a second now and get you guys caught up. Jason Lorenzo's down in the pits, and he's got a real special guest, so check it out.
So as you all know, there are quite a few unsung heroes that make Monster Jam happen every weekend, and right next to me I have a tech official, Chief Chuck. Chuck, I know that you're more involved with the RII, which turns off the truck, basically. Can you tell us about what that does?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we are about putting on a good show for you guys out there, but one of those things is definitely safety. And the good thing about this is we have a radio, and if we see a broke part on a truck or we see a driver in danger, then all I have to do is hit the button on the remote ignition interrupter, and we can shut that truck off at any time.
Thank you very much, Chuck. I know you got a lot to get going, so I'm just going to let you get back to work. And next up, let's get up close and personal with some of the biggest superstars in Monster Jam. So let's get started with El Toro Loco's Becky McDonough.
Becky, we're here with the fans. Now, I've got some questions for you. You've won wheelies already. You've won freestyle. What is it going to take for you to get a racing championship?
You know, I've really been working on my consistency this year. I've been trying to watch Cody Saucier and Monster Energy. He is on fire with racing. So I've tried to mimic him, and it is not working out for me whatsoever. You know, I qualify second one week, and the next week I can't even make it on the roster. So tonight, I'm really excited about this track. This is totally different than anything that we've done all year. So I'm really looking forward to get out there, make a couple more turns, and hopefully at least get down into the finals.
Well, if we're talking about the track, when you're out there, how inspired do you get from seeing the signs, the El Toro Loco hats, and these fans getting crazy in the stands?
You know, this is what Monster Jam is all about. It jacks me up so much to look in the stands and see. You know, earlier I saw an I Love Becky sign. I got that little girl that's got her hair all red, or the one in a pink tutu with the little bandanas and little horns. You know, that is what excites me and makes me want to go out there and drive that truck into the ground.
Next up, let's meet Monster Energy's Cody Saucier.
Now here is a driver who's the definition of the name Monster Energy, Cody Saucier. Cody, you've had experience with going for points in arenas. How different is it for you to be going for points on a stadium tour?
It's very different, but you know, one thing's for sure is Monster Energy's on the side of my truck. We're going to lay it down, whether it's for points, for Monster Energy drinks, for donuts, whatever it may be. We're going to go for the win, and it's definitely feeling good to bring back monster truck racing, Monster Jam action in a stadium. We can stretch the legs on these things and get out of the arenas. It was fun. This is where the real Monster Jam action is, especially here in Anaheim.
Speaking of wins, though, you have two amazing freestyle victories under your belt. Does that boost your confidence going into tonight's event?
Most definitely, you know, especially coming into here. I've never got to drive in Anaheim. Monster Energy's backyard right here. Bradshaw's been here in the past and laid it down. LeDuc's been here, laid it down. So big shoes to fill this weekend, and I'm not afraid, man. Ryan, bring it on. Zimmer, bring it on. Whoever else, bring it on. We're here to have a good time, whether it's for points or no points.
A lot of energy coming out of this driver. Up next, we have Rage's driver, Corey Rummel.
I'm Corey Rummel. I'm from North Jackson, Ohio. I drive for Team Screen. Big air, man. I love big air, crazy stunts, and I love doing every one of them. as I physically could, and I knew my end goal, and I worked there, and I'm here. I want them to be like, wow, do you remember what that truck just did? I want the fans to be amazed. I want them to see what the trucks can do, the stunts, and the crazy things we can do. My goal for 2017 is to win something big. I want to put my name in the books. I want to win a huge stadium or world finals or something major.
Joined up here on the main stage by Corey Rummel, the driver of Rage. Corey, a very intense battle that we've got going on for these elusive points. We're running out of shows. It puts a little bit more pressure on Rage Racing Team to make things happen.
Yeah, the pressure's definitely on. I'm sitting 5th right now in points, and Becky's real close. Once I get through Becky, there's 3 other guys, and I'm aiming for the top.
You're aiming for the top. You've had to work out some of the bugs. You've often said if you just had a little bit more money, a big sponsor would make all the difference, because you work nonstop on that Rage Monster Jam truck, but you always manage to finish in that top third. Sometimes it's just hard work that pays off, isn't it?
A lot of it's luck, and a lot of it's hard work. But you know what? I'm going to keep pushing as hard as I can, because I'm still aiming for that #1 spot.
When you look at tonight, Becky McDonough's out there. You've got Mr. Zimmer and Gravedigger. What are your thoughts when you look at this field?
Amazing talent we have tonight, and it's going to take everything we got. Every single one of these drivers here is going to push as hard as they got.
Corey Rummel, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's learn a little bit more about Sean Duhan in Everkill Evolution.
Here he is on his 2nd week tour with this stadium tour. We have Sean Duhan. So, Sean, how much of a challenge, maybe, is it for you to be asked to drive someone else's truck?
You know, it's not a challenge. It's actually an honor. You know, when Mikey called me and asked me to drive this truck, it's a past freestyle, world champion. So I had to look at the schedule, and I seen St. Louis last week, and then I seen Anaheim this week, and, I couldn't say no. I mean, to come out here in front of these great fans in Anaheim, we were out here a few years ago when I drove the Zombie Monster Jam truck, and then we didn't have such a great weekend. Tonight, I have a lot of making up to do, and we're going to make this, this team proud, and we're going to make all these great fans proud.
So since we're talking about Anaheim, what does a big pit party like the one we had here in Anaheim get you most? Does it get you really excited for tonight?
Oh, without a doubt. If it wouldn't be for these great Monster Jam fans, we wouldn't have a pit party or a show. So when they come up and they ask us to sign all these autographs, it's just an honor. It feels great. It gets us pumped up for this show. I can't wait to just go out there and run the wheels off this truck for these great fans. And, it's all about them. So, yeah, definitely the pit party helps out.
Once again, that's Overkill Evolution's Sean Duhan. But up next, we have Exterminators, J.R. McNeil.
J.R. McNeil, owner of Exterminator. And if we're talking about owning businesses, you've got 3. Framing, construction, raising. How do you make time in your busy schedule for Monster Jam?
Well, I'm a fan, first of all, and I got a good wife, so that helps out a lot. But, hey, it's all for the fans. It's a sacrifice, but we get to come out here and lay it down, see the kids smile, and that's what it's all about.
Well, if you talk about that, Monster Jam driving is not the easiest thing to do. How and what would you tell someone who wanted to take their career to the next level and join Monster Jam?
Get 3 jobs. No, get an education. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Have faith, believe in yourself, surround yourself with good people. Anything's possible.
Well, that's J.R. McNeil, driver of Exterminator. Let's get to know Devin Jones, driver of Barbarian.
Thank you so much, L. Devin Jones, up here at the main stage. Unbelievable company, because we got a lot to talk about. Before we talk about Anaheim, let's talk about last week. You are the racing champion coming out of St. Louis. That's a huge win for you in this point series.
It is. For one thing, it's the first stadium win I've ever had in 10 years of racing. So, it was an honor to sit there and do it. And just to be son of a digger right in that final round, it was just awesome.
Ryan Anderson is one of those amazing young. He literally makes that Jam truck his own. I know that anytime you chance to race against somebody like him, it's always intimidating. What are you thinking when you're going through those types of steps when you're a notch competitor?
You know, we sit there and think the same all the time. We want to go out for that win and stuff. But when you're facing Ryan, I mean, the truck's just so fast. It works so well. He's got them big corporate sponsors. It's just awesome to go against somebody.
And let's wrap it. You're a man of faith. It means a lot to you. It helps drive you. So talk a little bit about your faith and what it means to you.
You know, we sit there and we're all the time on these roads and stuff. And St. Louis to here was over 1,600 miles and stuff. So we need somebody to protect us. So I sit there and I give my faith to God. How I go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's learn a little bit more about bounty hunter and George Balhan.
Now, Monster Jam fans, this was a nice surprise. George Balhan, you've got the keys to Bounty Hunter. They have trusted you to take care of this. I know I got fans wanting to get in my shot. I know you guys are ready and awesome, but I got to talk to George. Now, George, you got the keys. Jimmy trusted you with it. 2 Extreme Racing has been doing really well. That's a championship truck.
Yeah, you know, definitely. And this is my home state. I live about 35 minutes away in Redondo Beach. The first 2 weekends of Monster Jam, they couldn't keep me away. I was sitting up there in that box with my friends. I got my boy from Skivvy up there right now. He's keeping my butt dry later tonight. But, you know, we're having a blast, and I'm going to have a lot better seat tonight than I did last week, and I promise you.
Well, you know, George, a couple of the fans, talking to some super fans, they know that you haven't been out and about in a Monster Jam truck in a little bit. So you're jumping back in here. Did you have to prepare?
Yeah, you know how I usually train is I go to the top of my roof of my house and I jump off and land on my butt a few times, and I'm good to go. So, yeah, you know, we've got Bryce Kenny over here driving the Mohawk Warrior here in the States, and I'm going to go ahead and do it in Europe this year. So I've just kind of been sitting on the couch, relaxing, having a good time, and what better thing to break that relaxing time than to get in this Bounty Hunter truck and see what that thing can do.
Well, we can't wait to see George Balhan in Bounty Hunter.
Daddy's belt, mama's drapes, standing tall in the backyard shed looking cool in my Superman cape.
I'm joined up here at the main stage by my partner in crime from down there in the hot pits, Jason Lorenzo. Jason, what an amazing Point Series Championship challenge we've got going on. These guys have been running and gunning, and girls, for about 3 weeks now, trying to get up there into that upper echelon. It's been an amazing journey, hasn't it?
It's been fun to watch, but I know talking to the drivers in the pits, they have been enjoying every minute of it. Going at it out on the field, but more importantly, helping each other out when they're in the pits and they're needing help to fix a part.
Now we're on the World Wide Web here, so we've got a lot of fans from all over the world watching Monster Jam live, and they know that this is an amazing field of trucks. So right now, we're going to take a second and we're going to give you guys a little insight, a little expertise, because, you know, that's what we do. So here's what I'm thinking. We're going to break it down. We're going to go racing first. Jason, a big win for Devin Jones and Barbarian in St. Louis last weekend, setting up a great opportunity to get even more points here in Anaheim. What are your thoughts going into Monster Jam racing?
Devin Jones did an amazing job last week. I mean, he was under the radar, and he made it happen, so that was, like, kudos to him. But my eye tonight is on Wrecking Crew's Mike Thompson. You didn't see him yesterday, but for the practice, he was tearing up the track, so I'm keeping my eye on him for racing.
That's a bold pick. Mike Thompson's one of those under-the-radar kind of Monster Jam stars that can really make things happen. Racing, when it looks to me, I know that Ryan Anderson is out there. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that right now, Becky McDonough and El Toro Loco has been having great passes. She's qualified very well in the top 4 trucks, every place we've been. I'm thinking Becky McDonough is going to be my racing pick in El Toro Loco. So that's my pick. You guys make your picks out there. Let's talk freestyle. A great track. It's a baseball diamond configuration here, so the Monster Jam track is set up a little bit different. Freestyle, major points on the line. What are your thoughts?
That's a hard one. All of these drivers, they're really going after that course. They're just hitting the backflip ramp. They're crushing the cars. But I'm going to definitely say that Cody Saucier, he's definitely going to bring the heat. He's won 2 freestyles, the stadium tour, and I think he's got a third one ready to pop out at the end.
Okay, so Cody Saucier, it's a great pick. He's a hometown guy, Corona, California. I like that. I'm stoked to see George Ballahan in Bounty Hunter, but I got news for you. George is in some pretty nice equipment. I don't know how much he's going to be able to throw around, but I'm going to go with Son of a Digger and Ryan Anderson. He wants to solidify the top of the crop. He wants to get those points, and he wants that hardware that's up here on this Monster Jam main stage. And after next weekend, somebody's going to get it, and I think that a big freestyle win here tonight in Anaheim for Ryan Anderson. But you and I, we've got a great job. L. Young is up in the stands with all of these Monster Jam fans. I think it's about time we let the experts in Angel Stadium find out. L, what are your thoughts out there?
Well, you know what, Kenny? I told you I have the best seats in the house, right, guys? Of course I do. So I have to tell you, I've got my picks, but I've been talking to the fans. Now, we've got freestyle tonight, and we also have racing. So, who do you think is going to win racing?
Toro Loco.
He says Becky Madonna and Toro Loco. Okay, that's fair. What about freestyle? He's considering. I think you're probably going to pick Becky for both, right?
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And then I got a fan down here. Look at this sign, you guys. That is dedication. That's so awesome. Stick it out of your face. So, who do you think is going to win racing?
Son of a Digger, baby!
There it is. And what about freestyle?
I think Ryan's going to double down here tonight.
He says double down. You see that? Monster Jam fans know how to talk Monster Jam talk. Well, Kenny and Jason, I got to go with it. The race is tight between Ryan and Cody. So, I don't know. For racing, I think I'm going to go with Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. But you've got John Zimmer in that Gravedigger truck, 35th anniversary. Maybe he takes it for freestyle. I'm going to send it back to you guys. I'm having so much fun with the fans. I'll let you handle it from here.
Joining me here at Anaheim, 2014 freestyle champion, Gravedigger and John Zimmer. Hey, welcome back to Anaheim. You've got a pretty good record here.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Long time ago, this was my first stadium win. I mean years, I'm talking 10 years. Last time here with Team Gravedigger, 2014, I got to watch some of the most amazing freestyles, and I got to walk away with the win. But for me, it's these fans. You guys truly blow our minds to how avid and gung-ho you are. And the wins are amazing, but the looks on your faces are what drive us.
And those looks drive you, hopefully, all the way to the Monster Jam World Finals 18. This is a very pivotal step. You're hopping into a Gravedigger machine that is on the cusp in those top 1, 2, and 3 spots of getting those points. Dennis Anderson got banged up. He is getting much better, so all your prayers and everything are paying off big time. He gets you this weekend. There's a lot on the line here. You've got to get up there. You've got some work to do.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We talked this morning. He said, Buddy Rowe, I got to get you in that truck, get some points. And it's not an easy task to come onto this tour. Cody Saucier's on a tear, Ryan Anderson, Devin Jones, and you've got some old new faces also coming back.
So your thoughts going into this big tilt here in Anaheim? It's going to be a big crowd. What are your predictions?
My predictions are this: win, lose, or draw, I will give you a show with that black and green wrecking machine.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is John Zimmer. Now let's get to know a little bit more about Jester and Matt Pagliarulo.
Matt Pagliarulo.
Well, I've got Matt Pagliarulo, driver of Jester, owner of Jester. I mean, it can't get much better than that.
Monster Jam and decided to build our own truck, and we're here now to debut our new green paint scheme for 2017, and we're here to rock it out. Doing really well in donuts the last couple years, but we're stepping up freestyle, so I want to be known for freestyle, putting on a good freestyle and racing performance. When I get off the track tonight, I want the fans to just absolutely be Jester fans. We're here to put on a good show for these great fans. 2017 is going to be an outstanding year for Team Jester Monster Truck and this Jester Lane truck.
Matt has never seen his bio video. That was fun to watch. Now, you know, we're talking about you and Jester. You have been ripping up this track the whole time on this tour for 2017. With such strong runs, what can we expect from you in freestyle tonight?
Well, we've been having a blast, so don't expect anything other than big air. We're going to do whatever we can. If you came to see us during the pit party, you notice the Jestelade's a little beat up, and it's probably not going to look any better after tonight.
Well, that's fair. How do you manage to hang out so much with your family? I know you got little Brooke. She's so much fun in between this crazy schedule.
Well, before we had our Monster Jam truck, we sat here in these very same seats as a family. Now we have our own Monster Jam truck, and we do that as a family too. So even though we're working days and nights, we work on the truck, we do it as a family.
Well, that's Matt Pagliarella and Jester. Let's meet our next driver.
There is no other driver that could be considered a form of a superhero than this man right next to me, Donald Epidendio. Donald, tell us a little bit how you ended up being in the driver's seat of Overboard.
Well, last week I got off work. I got a phone call from my little brother, Jamie Gardner, asked me to come out and drive his truck, and I've always admired the truck. It's a quality machine, got good equipment under it, and I couldn't say no to the chance to come back to Anaheim one more time and race for everybody here.
Well, speaking of Anaheim, you are probably the most experienced driver to even compete in Anaheim. Does that give you an edge tonight?
I'd like to think it does. I used to do pretty well here with my old truck. Been a while since I've been in the winner's circle, but maybe with good equipment under me, we can get back in there tonight.
Once again, Donald Epidendio with Overboard. Coming up next, we have the driver of Wrecking Crew, Mike Thompson.
It's great to have the company of Mike Thompson and Wrecking Crew. Mike, you basically came up through the ranks with Greg Winchenbach, the driver of Crush Station. He kind of broke you in and got you ready to rock and roll, didn't he?
For sure. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot what not to do from him, but you know, I'm definitely here. I'm trying to make Wrecking Crew a good name for everybody, and this is my first time in Anaheim, and I'm excited.
You also have a great machine, Team Scream, Wrecking Crew, of course, Jim Kohler, Avenger, the proprietor, basically turns you guys loose. You and Corey have the opportunity to drive under the banner of Team Scream. That's kind of an honor, too.
It's definitely a good time. When Jim called me up, offered me the job, gave me a full-time ride, I just couldn't turn it down.
So when you look at this point series, things are starting to get very condensed at the top. You want to finish somewhere in the middle. I know that's where you're shooting for. What are your thoughts coming in? The track was a little bit wet, but it looks fantastic right now. It's got to be a pretty good track. So what are your thoughts going in to this tilt here tonight?
Well, last night practice, it felt really good. You know, I think the dirt, it looks pretty good today. They got a bunch of the mud scraped off of it, but I'm feeling good. I'm thinking we can take it to the top tonight, see what happens.
Oh my goodness, Mike Thompson, it's now time to learn a little bit more about Black Stallion and Mike Vauders.
A driver that needs no introduction. He's been here since the beginning. Mike Vauders, the driver of Black Stallion. Mike, how has Monster Jam driving changed over the years?
Oh, are you kidding me, man? I'll tell you what, when we first started, I basically just took my street truck that I drove on the street with big tires, put big military axles under it, leaf springs, and, you know, we come out here and just crawled over the cars, and you know, the front wheels would come off the cars a little bit, and man, you thought you did something. And as the years progressed, we started racing them instead of just doing a freestyle or whatever, just a car crush, basically what it was called originally. And then we started putting them side by side and racing, and to where it's evolved today, it's just unbelievable to where it's, we're strapped in. I mean, these things are, the technology on them is just unbelievable. As far as from the safety to being strapped in, everything certified, it's just unbelievable.
And now, in comparison, since you're talking about nowadays, how have the crowds changed from then till now?
Oh, we first started, we started going to arenas. There was a truck and tractor pull. The arenas were pretty full, and then we'd come out at the end after like the tractor pulls, and we just do our car crush, and 2,000 or 3,000, people. And now, I mean, we're as big as Monster Jam show. I think it's up to 80,000 people, and it's just unbelievable. And then with the TV and the recognition that we got and the demographics is just unbelievable to where it was when we first started. So it's just, it's evolved in night and day. It's feels like it's been 100 and some years ago that, I've been in it, actually this year's 36 years for me, and to where it first started, talked with Dennis Anderson, and, him and I started right about the same time to where it is today. I never thought I would ever see to where it's evolved at today.
Let's give it up one more time for Mike Vouders, the driver of Black Stallion. And last, but certainly not least, Son of a Diggers, Ryan Anderson.
And right here next to me, you got fans in shirts. You got fans next to you. They're taping their video. And right now, you are the current leader on this series. How much pressure does that put on you tonight?
Really, there's no pressure for me because I know all I'm here to do is to get you fans on your feet. I'm sorry, I know you spent your hard-earned money on those seats, but I'm going to go crazy tonight for you guys. That body's been on my truck for way too long. It's time to rip it up for you right here in Anaheim. And I owe you from 2 years ago. I come out here and broke a wheel off. Tonight, I'm driving Son of a Digger like an absolute madman until that thing won't go anymore. Who wants to see that tonight?
Well, the fans are excited. Now, how pumped would you be if you got all of these people in Las Vegas?
That would be awesome. It's not that far. You could drive it. And let me tell you, Anaheim is amazing. We come here so many times. It's crazy. But nothing beats the Monster Jam World Finals. If you go out there, you get to see every single top name truck go absolutely ballistic, all on this crazy track. It is unreal. Like, if you think this is cool, you need to go to Vegas. It's amazing.
Something dancing to the groove like it just ain't nothing. They ain't never seen nothing quite like you. Long stem legs and your cowboy boots, throwing back whiskey straight in no water. Girl, there ain't nothing harder. Ooh, I dig the way that you move.
We're getting closer to the start of tonight's event. Now it's time to take a tour of the competition course and what makes this track so amazing. And some of the biggest and brightest stars in Monster Jam are going to show you the layout and what you can expect here tonight in Anaheim.
What's up, Anaheim? Y'all ready to party, have a good time? All right. My name's J.R. McNeil, driver of the Emily Exterminator. I'm here to talk about qualifying. I can't say too much because my truck broke yesterday, but the track has changed completely. So you got to have your head in the game. I need to come out here, put a fast pass, get my truck in the winner's circle.
Hey, Anaheim, it's Ryan Anderson again, and I'm standing right in the turn right now. When I'm going through this Monster Jam racing turn, if my truck's not wide open, slinging dirt, hoon drifting it, I'm not going to win, and I'm not doing what I want to do. This is where the races are won and lost right here in this turn. You can guarantee me, if I'm not nailing a perfect turn, I'm probably going to crash trying.
What's up, Anaheim? Wake up! Woo! This claw right here, man, this is your backyard, Monster Energy. Loud and proud, California, baby. I'm here to talk to you about some wheelies, man. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book for Monster Jam trucks. There's so many incredible opportunities to get 3 good hits in, whether it be a vertical sky wheelie, a great slap wheelie. One of those guys, whoever wins that, is coming back to racing. And I'm damn sure you're going to take those guys out too. Woo!
I'm Becky McDonough, driver of El Toro Loco, and I think I can speak on behalf of most Monster Jam fans that freestyle is the favorite competition. It is what has built this sport to what it is today. There is nothing quite like coming out here, ripping out in my pretty baby bull, and seeing each and every one of you on your feet. Anaheim, I have seen so many amazing signs, the hats, everything. You guys have been absolutely incredible. So I know that I gotta come out here and show all these men how the ladies do it. 2 minutes to burn that truck right into this ground. I almost had it last year. Tonight will be my night. Who's ready to get this party started?
Monster Jam fans, that concludes this edition of Monster Jam Live. I hope you guys had a great time as we set up this amazing competition here in Anaheim. You guys remember, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, check back often for all the latest news and information as these amazing athletes chase themselves down the road to the Monster Jam World Finals number 18. On behalf of my entire staff here, we want to say thank you for watching. God bless each and every one of you guys. And now it's time to get ready for Monster Jam.